Well, one day in elementary school, my class had a substitute, a green substitute, a very young, very scared, easily flustered substitute. And even though my friends and I were only in the third grade, we could smell the fear. And we knew that our first chance to unravel her was when she called the roll. Well, down the names she went. And everyone who was in the room answered here. And everyone who wasn't in the room answered here. 3 kids who were out sick each told the teacher that they were present. The kid who was in Richmond at his grandmother's funeral answered here. Even the little boy who was sent back down to the 2nd grade told the teacher that he was here. Well, the names, of course, the numbers didn't add up. The teacher could see that there were 32 names on the book, but she could only count 27 bodies in the room. So 3 times she called out the names. 32 answers always came. 3 times she counted the bodies in the room, always stopping at 27. I mean, it was only 9:15 in the morning, and she was already fried for the day. You know, it's funny in grade school. It is a reality in the church. People come and people go. And we are encouraged by them while they are here and even after they are gone. Even without their physical presence, they are capable of answering the roll when Reverend Sally calls their name. The Bible suggests that we are connected across time and space, and that none of us are complete without these who have gathered in our cloud, in our communion this morning. Yet in all these, though they were commended for their faith, did not receive what was promised, since God had provided something better, so that they were not, apart from us, to be made perfect. We are grateful for their presence. It has been said that we carve our names on hearts, not on tombstones. Our legacy is etched in the stories that are told about us. Our Steinway will be rededicated tonight. It was given in the memory of Nell Sue Walker, who was born in Lone Mountain, Tennessee. The piano given by her family, the Ferguson family. Nellie loves Southern Baptist hymns. She was known to go through the day humming, "Just As I Am." She lived and believed the golden rule, which is, do to others as you would have them do to you. Bob Ferguson says that his mother was widowed early in life, and so she cared for her child and her mother during both the Depression and the war, all along continuing to give 10% pre-tax to the church. Bob wrote to me and he said, they remember a kind of a loaves and fishes lifestyle, always praying for the miracle of more. But the funny thing, what came across on Bob's email was not loaves and fishes, but loves and fishes. Nellie loves and fishes. That story is etched on their heart. I once won $100 from my dad for the song that Jim and I are going to present tonight at the dedication concert. You see, I was a part of a gospel ensemble in high school. I'll fly away, oh glory, amazing grace, may the circle be unbroken. Now, my dad appreciated church stuff, but he really loved big band music. And so he went out and he bought this piece of music. And he said, if you learn to play this piece of music, I'll give you $100. That's incentive. I went back to my gospel ensemble at high school and I said, let's leverage this for all it's worth. They took the music home to their parents. Their parents promised $100 if they would learn this song. I tell you, the night of the school concert, we got $600 from those parents when we played Mercy, 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 Please Have Mercy on Me. That story is indeed etched on my heart. Pete Reef continues to walk that fine line between heaven and earth, encouraging us, prodding us towards justice. I was privileged at his memorial service to tell a story about Robert Mansfield, who was a principal and educator in South Africa during apartheid. He was the principal of a white school who always took his hockey teams to play the black schools in the area. And finally, the Department of Education said no, and so he resigned in protest. Not long afterwards, Emmanuel Nene, who was a leader in the black community, came to meet Robert Mansfield and wanted to join with him in the resistance movement. Nene lamented about all the wounds that they would receive, first from the government and then from their own people. So Nene asked Robert, "Are you afraid of the wounds?" And Robert said, "No, I'm not afraid of the wounds. Because when I get up there, as is my intention, the Holy One will ask me, 'Where are your wounds?' And if I say I don't have any, God will ask me, 'Wasn't anything worth fighting for?'" You know, I don't want to answer that question, he said. I celebrate the wounds that Pete took with him. I celebrate that he always walked on the path that wasn't there. He created the path as he went and left the trail for us to follow. That story is etched on our hearts. You know, controversy always followed Coach Ken Carter when he demanded a lot of his players, especially when they broke the academic contract. He was surprised at the impact he had on his young players. The presence of our saints liberates us. Thanks be to God. That is the power of our communion and of this table. Can't you hear them? Nellie, Joe, Pete, all those we named and who have gathered, all those you name in your heart and for whom you will light candles today. Can't you hear them egging us on, calling us by name, shouting encouragement, always whispering those questions in our ear? Isn't it worth fighting for? This loves and fishes life. Mercy, mercy, mercy. They are a part of us and we are a part of them, and we are all connected. And together, our stories are hearts that are etched on the world. Thanks be to God.